By the way, Mr. Gatsby, I understand you're an Oxford man. Not exactly. Oh, yes, I understand you went to Oxford. Yes, I went there. A pause. Then Tom's voice. You must have gone there about the time Biloxi went to New Haven. Another pause. I told you I went there, said Gatsby. Had you? But I like to know when. It was in 1919. I only stayed 5 months. It was an opportunity they gave to some of the officers after the amnesties, he continued. We could go to any of the universities in England or France. Daisy rose, smiling, went to the table. Open the whiskey, Tom, she ordered. Wait a minute, snapped Tom. I want to ask Mr. Gatsby one more question. Go on, Gatsby said politely. What kind of a row are you trying to cause in my house, anyhow? They were out in the open at last, and Gatsby was content. He isn't causing a row, Daisy looked from one to the other. You're causing a row. Please, have a little self-control. Self-control, repeated Tom. I suppose the latest thing is to sit back and let Mr. Nobody from nowhere make love to your wife. Well, if that's the idea, you can count me out. Nowadays, people begin be sneering at family life and family institutions. And next, they'll throw everything overboard and have intermarriage between black and white. We're all right here, Mammy Jordan. I know I'm not very popular. I don't give big parties. I suppose you have got to make your house into a pigsty in order to have any friends in the modern world. I've got something to tell you, old sport, began Gatsby, but Daisy guessed at his intention. Please don't, she interrupted helplessly. Please, let's all go home. Why don't we all go home? That's a good idea, I got up. Come on, Tom. Nobody wants a drink. I want to know what Mr. Gatsby has to tell me. Your wife doesn't love you, said Gatsby. She's never loved you. She loves me. You must be crazy, exclaimed Tom optimistically. Gatsby sprang to his feet. She never loved you. Do you hear? He cried. She only married you because I was poor and she was tired of waiting for me. It was a terrible mistake, but in her heart she never loved anyone except me. At this point Jordan and I tried to go, but Tom and Gatsby insisted that we remain. Sit down, Daisy, Tom's voice groped. What's been going on? I want to hear all about it. I told you what's been going on, said Gatsby. Going on for 5 years, and you didn't know. Tom turned Gatsby sharply. You've been seeing this fellow for 5 years? Not seeing, said Gatsby. No, we couldn't meet. But both of us loved each other all the time, old sport, and you didn't know. Oh, that's all. Tom tapped his thick fingers together like a clergyman and leaned back in his chair. You're crazy, he exploded. I can't speak about what happened 5 years ago because I didn't know Daisy then, but Daisy loved me when she married me, and she loves me now. No, said Gatsby, shaking his head. She does, though. The trouble is that sometimes she gets foolish ideas in her head and doesn't know what she's doing. He nodded sagely. And what's more, I love Daisy too. Once in a while I go off on a spree and make a fool of myself, but I always come back, and in my heart I love her all the time. You're revolting, said Daisy. Do you know why we left Chicago? I'm surprised that they didn't treat you to the story of that little spree. Gatsby walked over and stood beside her. Daisy, that's all over now, he said earnestly. It doesn't matter anymore. Just tell him the truth, that you never loved him, and it's all wiped out forever. She looked at him blindly. Why? How could I love him? Possibly? You never loved him. She hesitated. I never loved him, she said. Not at Kapiolani? Demanded Tom suddenly. No. Not the day I carried you down from the punch bowl to keep your shoes dry, Daisy. Please don't. Her voice was cold. She looked at Gatsby. There, Jay. Oh, you want too much, she cried to Gatsby. I love you now. Isn't that enough? I can't help what's past. She began to sob helplessly. I did love him once, but I loved you too. Gatsby's eyes opened and closed. You loved me too? He repeated. Even that's a lie, said Tom. She didn't know you were alive. Why, there is things between Daisy and me that you'll never know. Things that neither of us can ever forget.